You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! What's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to the channel, Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be going over another early deck profile, this one for an Ice Rider Calyrex Arceus VSTAR deck. I hope that y'all enjoy seeing this one. I've already played this deck on, kind of in this video form. I have a video of it on this channel, so by all means I'm going to link that one here. But if you want to see it, I played Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX against Inteleon VMAX. And it really was cool. This deck gains a lot, and currently it's one of my favorite decks. The list isn't 100% mine, it's Jesse Parker's. I saw them posted on social media, so I did put a link to their social media in the description. By all means, check that out. Huge shout out to them for inspiring me with this list, and really using 99 if not 100% of their list as the base list. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments what you think about this deck. I'd totally love to hear some thoughts. I'd get back to everyone. So let's jump into it. So here we have it, the Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX Arceus VSTAR deck. Now, before I get any further, I might have mentioned this before in the intro. It's also in the description. I did get the majority, if not this complete list, from Jesse Parker. I saw them play it on Andrew Mahone's Tricky Gym stream, and I really like the concept. I think there might have been one or two card changes, but I can't necessarily put them off the top of my head. Either way, go ahead and check them on Twitter. They definitely know what they're doing when it comes to a future format deck. That being said, Ice Rider Calyrex largely has been a successful deck. I brought an Ice Rider Calyrex deck to the Players Cup Invitational, and I was able to place number 5 out of the entire event. I thought it was a really cool deck for that event. Didn't necessarily go as far as I wanted to, but I've always had a love for this card. Now, the reason why Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX is good is because you have the choice to go for 2 energies, and you could go Ride of the High King, doing upwards of 160 damage to your opponent's Pokemon, 10 plus 30 for each of their bench Pokemon, or you go Max Lance and go ahead and do 10 plus 120 plus 120, depending on how many water energies you want to discard, up to 2, so 250 damage. Well, that was cool when we had Tag Team GX Pokemon in the format, but ever since the Tag Teams left, we now have to deal with VMAXs that have a lot more HP. Quick Shooting can certainly get you there, but you'd have to Quick Shooting like 3-4 times on average to knock out a VMAX Pokemon. Now that we have VSTAR Pokemon in the game, everything's changed up a little bit. So looking over to Arceus VSTAR on the far right, Arceus VSTAR has 280 HP. So Max Lance almost gets there, and you might be like, okay, 2 Quick Shooting, that's cool. But the card that we have in the bottom middle, Choice Belt, allows us to bring the damage for Max Lance from 250 to 280 against any V, VMAX, VSTAR, V Union. So these are all really cool concepts. So we can now go Max Lance, OHKO VSTAR Pokemon, and we can also be 2 Quick Shootings away from knocking out something like some kind of VMAX that would be really popular. I think that works out really well for Ice Rider Calyrex, and it allows it to be a lot more disruptive and really more aggressive. We have that Inteleon line that we're able to kind of build up things, because at first I was like, yo, why would I want to play the Drizziles with this thing now that we have Arceus VSTAR? And to be honest, I didn't really know until I played with my homie Vaughn on stream the other day. I do have a recorded game against Sylveon VMAX with this deck on the channel. I'm going to link that video to this one just so everyone has access to it. Shady dealings a couple times, or shady dealings with the Inteleon with an Arceus VSTAR using its ability to search your deck for as many cards as you're kind of looking for, or however many situations, allows you to really choose when to use that Arceus VSTAR ability. Its ability allows you to search your deck for any 2 cards once during your game. So kind of like a GX attack, but it's a VSTAR ability. So you flip the VSTAR, you search for whatever. So maybe you're like, turn 2, you want to know what, I don't have a supporter. I really need to progress the board state, so I can grab a Melony, I can grab a Quick Ball, discard the water in my hand. Like, you have ways to make things happen with Arceus VSTAR. And late game, you could be like, oh, I have Arceus VSTAR chilling there for my boss's orders for game, if you didn't pull it already. So Drizzile might allow you to kind of come up with this gigantic turns. I mean, if you're able to search for 4 cards, pretty much any 4 cards you want out of your deck in a turn, you're probably gonna have a huge explosive turn if you think correctly about the cards to choose. You might be like, oh, you wanna know what, I'm gonna search for Quick Shooting Inteleon, Quick Shooting Inteleon, add an additional 40 damage, or Quick Shooting Inteleon Choice Belt, do an additional 50 damage this turn, that's cooler. I'm going to search for a double Turbo Energy, Melony, hit my opponent for 180, chip some damage off of them, build up some energies on my Arceus VMAX, or on my Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. So I think like just the explosiveness of this deck and its way to combat any situation that it might fall into is really, really cool. So going through it, you're going to be able to search your deck for whatever you want with Drizzile. Sobble allows you to get set up. I try to go with 3 Sobbles. Like, my ideal board state is an Ice Rider, an Arceus, and 3 Sobbles. That's kind of what I'm feeling. You have one kind of splashable spot for maybe another Ice Rider, or maybe another Arceus, or the 4th Sobble, but all of it can kind of work out. Quick shooting allows you to kind of ping those right numbers, so whether or not you're trying to get that big knockout with Ride of the High King, it would not discard your energies, or maybe you want to go ahead and go for that gigantic Max Lance. It's cool. Inteleon with Shady Dealings allows you to kind of, again, have those explosive search abilities, and I think it's really worthwhile. Ice Rider Calyrex V isn't really doing much in this deck, but it's just more of a vessel to evolve into Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, which is going to be your main attacker. Arceus V is very powerful, just the V, because you're able to use with a double turbo, or a Melony and an attachment allows you to search for up to 3 energies, and basic energies that isn't attached them to your V Pokemon in any way you like. That's a really good way to kind of get kick-started into a game. Arceus VSTAR is a 2 prize card attacker, so the cool thing that I like about this deck is that you have 2 prize card Pokemon, 3 prize card Pokemon, and 1 prize card Pokemon, which sounds like kind of normal, but since you have a lot of these attacking forces, you could then like send up Pokemon and force your opponent to draw 8 prize cards in a game, or 7 prize cards in a game, which is incredibly difficult for your opponent to kind of counteract if you play it correctly, or if those situations fall into your lap. Arceus VSTAR's attack does, for colorless, 200. Then with the 200, you could search your deck for up to 3 energies, attach them to your V Pokemon. So like, you could attack with an Arceus, have nothing set up on an Ice Rider Calyrex V, maybe you have 2 on board, attach 2 to one, 1 to the other. So no matter what your opponent knocks out, you're able to attack with an Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX the next turn. The 4 Melony seems to work really great in this deck. I wouldn't mind seeing a Raihan, to be honest. Raihan can search for things like double turbo energies in a pinch, but I do like the 4 Melony since all of your Pokemon, except for the Inteleon line, can use it. I like the 2 Marnie, 2 Research, 2 Boss. I think that's completely fine when it comes down to it, just to have a mix of supporters that you can maybe search for with your Arceus VSTAR or Drizzile. And I mean, I think Boss might even want to get up to 3. It's something that I found, like, 3 Boss might be cool. Maybe Quick Shooting might counteract that. I'm still trying to figure that out when it comes down to testing the deck. But right now, I do think that I really like the supporter line. The only thing that I'm thinking of is maybe adding in a Raihan. The 4 Level Ball, 4 Quick Ball, 2 Evolution Incense, 2 Ultra Ball seems pretty standard. I split the Evolution Incense and Ultra Ball just so we have more ways to search out any kind of Pokemon with Ultra Ball instead of Evolution Incense. And we also want to get Water Energies in the discard pile for Melony, so we got to keep that in mind. 2 Capacious Buckets seems pretty standard for any deck that's playing Water Energies. I mean, most decks would play Energy Search if they had some kind of Drizzile, Quick Shooting, Drizzile Shady Dealings or Inteleon Shady Dealings line. 1 Fan of Waves is really just for the Mew matchup, just in case they have a Fusion Strike energy and it could just pop up. You could have explosive turns and maybe just take away your opponent's energy. It's a card that I think might be cuttable. I might want to see a Scoop Up Net instead of that Fan of Waves, so it's definitely on my thinking list. I like 1 copy of Escape Rope. It can allow you to kind of get out of certain situations. It's another kind of switching out. Same thing with an Air Balloon. I just play 1 Air Balloon, 1 Escape Rope. I really kind of wanted a Scoop Up Net, so maybe Fan of Waves will go in my next iteration. Choice Belt is huge when it comes to this deck. Really having those big attacks where you can get those knockouts, absolutely amazing. 2 Path to the Peak is fine. You don't want to shut off Starbirth, but mid-game you can shut off things and go like Marnie's Path to the Peak out of nowhere after using Starbirth. So you got to think like, if you're able to properly play these cards down in any order, Starbirth can be huge. The energy lineup seems really appropriate for this deck. 7 Waters. I'd almost like to see an 8th. 8 is kind of the number that I like, but with adding the 2 double turbo energies, you don't necessarily need it as much. So there are a couple things that I might want to change. Like I might want to cut an Ice Rider Calyrex V for an Arceus V. I might want to find more ways to be powering up Ice Rider Calyrex Vs. So that might be like something where I want to add double turbos, but reasonably, this list exceeded my expectations when I played it on stream. Like, I cannot stress that enough that, like, you know when you find, like, a deck that you really like? This is a deck that I really like. I found a home with this deck. And so far with the Arceus decks, I've really been enjoying Pokemon. Like, I know that we're still about a month out at the time of the creation of this video from kind of Brilliant Stars coming out. But all of these concepts and seeing cards like Ultra Ball getting reprinted and seeing things like Choice Band get spiritually reprinted into Choice Belt and Arceus VSTAR, just the power behind it, it seems like Pokemon's heading into a great direction, and there is a light at the end of our tunnel. So I think this is a great choice for anyone looking to see success early on. I think Jesse Parker knocked it out of the park. Again, their Twitter @'s in the description. Huge shout out to them. If you're looking for any of the translations, that's also in there. The PokeBeach link for the translations there. We also have access to the list is in the description too if you want to copy and paste both formats. Word, that's what we got going on for today, peeps. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing these decks, or this deck I should say, and stay tuned for some more Brilliant Stars content. I'm going to be doing a lot of tabletop gameplay on the channel, getting everyone prepared and kind of fine-tuning my lists, because I think it's incredibly fun right now, and it's a great way for me to combat any kind of boredom that I have with the Fusion Strike format. I think we all know that Mew VMAX and Jolteon are absolutely dominating the formats, and anything else that I say beyond that is just really going to be repeating the same thing. So stay tuned for more great content. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you're looking for when it comes to early Brilliant Stars decks or anything like that, and I will catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great one. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.